Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the top 10 best Wild Gems small forwards in NBA 2K26 MyTEAM. Basically going through and talking about the guys that you can buy that are really good options from the Wild Gems super packs that will, I think, be dropping tomorrow in NBA 2K26 MyTEAM. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 50,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it and let's get to ranking. So we will start with the number 10 spot. Number 10 is Lefonso Ellis. This card is really solid. Also a card that you can get for a buyout, which is nice value for a guy who's 6'8", 6'11 wingspan, solid speed, solid shooter, great slasher with that 95 driving dunk in addition to 85 defense literally across the board. Every single defensive badge in the game on at least gold. I mean, 29 total badges as a base card as an amethyst. He can get held up to 33. That's pretty wild. This list is deep, and this card is legitimately very good. I think people overlook him a lot when it comes to that PG spot, but he is absolutely one of those guys that can 100% play it. I would honestly say the highest level at small forward position. Every card in this top 10 is a card that I think I would be comfortable running at a competitive level, and I do legitimately mean that when I say that. So with that being said, Lefonso Ellis at number 10 is a absolutely awesome card. Number 9 is going to be I cannot read my handwriting. What does that say? Oh, Shareef Abdur-Rahim. That's what that says. Sorry. Shareef Abdur-Rahim is really solid. He's just, again, kind of like Lefonso Ellis, very well-rounded. Not as many badges, 6'9" with 7 wingspan, a little bit bigger. I will say his jumper's probably a little better than Ellis. Ellis is not bad. I think Shareef's is better. It's really smooth, really easy. And Shareef has Curry slide, which is really a nice little plus to give him a little more movement ability as well. He is not quite as complete as Shareef is in terms of total badges, although he's not that far behind. Still very complete, especially if you upgrade some of the badges to gold and stuff and add a couple of your own. This card is also really good. I think he's another one who maybe not quite as purely on paper quite as good as Lefonso Ellis, but the animation improvement with a better jumper in that Curry slide, as well as the ability to just still get to basically the same point badge wise with a couple of added and upgraded badges. He's still a great card. So I think he's number 8, 9, and I have honestly, like, that's a really good card at number 9. Again, this list is very deep. Moving on to the number 8 spot, we have Derrick McKey. Derrick is 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. He's got 86 speed, as well as an 86 3 ball, but a very solid jump shot. He's got great defensive badges. That's why Derrick is really good, honestly, is because of the elite level defense. Solid interior, but elite perimeter. Hoff challenger, glove, movable off-ball pest, and on-ball menace. Overall, a very solid, very complete card who offensively mostly just a catch and shoot shooter, not going to do a ton off the dribble, but he can finish the rim a decent bit. He's 6'10", which creates size mismatches at the small forward position, and his jumper is very solid, and defensively he is awesome. I don't know, man. Like, this card's really good, but this list is really stacked. So maybe I am underrating him very slightly. I think on paper, he is a better overall card than the next guy on this list. Just like I said, Lefonso is a little bit better than Shareef on paper. This card is probably better, Derrick McKey, than Jaden McDaniels on paper. The thing about Jaden McDaniels, his jumper is awesome. 6'9" with 7 wingspan, and a jumper that I legitimately think is great. Now, he is not going to do any more shot creation than Derrick McKey does offensively. In fact, they're very similar cards offensively. 87 3 ball versus 86. 80 driving dunk for both of them. Similar athleticism. I think Jaden McDaniels is just as good defensively despite not having quite as many Hall of Fame badges, and I think his jumper is better personally. Again, it's debatable if you want to go the opposite direction with these two in terms of ranking them. I don't blame you at all. In fact, with the extra Hall of Fame badges, it kind of, the more I sit here, the more I'm like, it's the better jumper overcome the better badges. I don't know. It's not that much better of a, you know what? I changed my mind on that one. I am going to leave Shareef above Lefonso, but I'm going to switch for this one. Derrick McKey and Jaden McDaniels. I'm switching that one because I do think McKey having those extra defensive hoffs is helpful, especially like Hoff and movable, Hoff on ball menace. Those are like the 2 best defensive hoffs in the game. So I think that's how we're going to do it. Moving on to the number 6 spot, we got Rui Hachimura. Rui is 6'8" with a 6'10" wingspan. What I love about Rui is that as a base card, he comes with all but 2 badges. In my team, meaning he can get every single badge in the game. He's unbelievably complete with 80 plus 90-ish on everything. He's basically like high 80s to 90 on nearly every single important stat in the game. His jumper is better this year than it was last. I do think it's decent. I wouldn't say it's unbelievable, but with how complete he he is stat and badge wise a solid jump shot. Movement wise, nothing special, but with how good this card overall is, I think he is an awesome option at the small forward position. Definitely one of the best small forwards in my team. His only real letdown, again, is that he's not going to have the fastest jumper, and he's just not going to be a great off the dribble shot creator. So without the ball in his hands, I mean, really what he is on your offensive end is mostly a spot up, but a good one, a very, very good one. Moving on to the number 5 spot, we have another guy who provides the size and the switchability, maybe not quite as much shooting, but Thurl Bailey with the 95 driving dunk, 90 speed, 6'11" with a 7-foot wingspan, and then 90 defense kind of across the board. He is what Eggnog calls Blurl Bailey. I think that's a funny name for him. 90 speed, 95 driving dunk at 6'11" at small forward. Just a big, physical, fast driver who is also a capable enough shooter. His jumper is by no means great, but off a wide open catch, it is absolutely super duper solidly greenable. And I do think if you're looking for a catch and shoot small forward, Thurl Bailey is not your guy, because that is not an elite role for him. He is a mismatch creator. He is a mismatch solver on defense as well. He's the type of guy, you have him at small forward, you match up against Ben Simmons, you're fine, because Thurl's bigger than Ben. Like, this card is extremely good, but the lack of shooting does turn some people off with him, and I think if you don't like that, that makes sense. Joe Smith is similar. I'd say slightly better as a shooter, but very, very similar as an overall card. I think they're very, very similar role as cards, and I think putting them in the same spot on the list makes sense to me. Again, if you want more catch and shoot shooting, more of a 3-and-D, McKey, McDaniels, those other guys might be a little bit more what you're looking for than Joe Smith or Thurl Bailey. But again, for what I think is really valuable at small forward, guys like Smith and Bailey can be really good. 87 speed, 84 3-ball, 90 driving dunk. Defensively, again, very, very well-rounded, switchable, versatile defender. Can guard on the perimeter and the interior. Can step out and shoot a 3 at a very solid level. Jumper is probably a little bit better than Thurl Bailey's. It's actually the same jumper, but I would say, or same upper, but I would say a better base. And he also does a little bit more off the dribble in terms of pure movement than Thurl Bailey does. So for me, Joe Smith goes slightly above Thurl Bailey, but they're pretty much giving you the same thing on the court. Both of them are on the same court for the same reason. Big switchable defender, big physical finisher. That's what they're for, and that's their most valuable roles on your team. Moving on to the number 3 spot is another guy who's similar but has the best jump shot of the group in Tom Gugliotta. This card is really, really good. I think he's a little slept on. Honestly, he's not. He's expensive, and I don't think it's shocking that he is. I just don't think he gets talked about that much, but he's very, very good, and I understand why he is expensive, because again, he's an elite level option at the small forward position. This is a 6'10", 7-foot wingspan. Again, very similar to Smith and Thurl. Big, great finishing small forward. In my opinion, he has the best jump shot of the 3. That is why this year, with Aaron Gordon base being better, Isaiah Todd upper is actually pretty good. His SIGs suck. He does nothing off the dribble, but I think he is the best catch and shoot shooter of the 3. That is why he is number 3 there, and Smith is number 4 and Thurl is number 5. It's that simple. They're pretty much all the same card. Tom's the best spot up shooter of the 3 in my opinion, because he's got the fastest jumper. It's the easiest to get off. So for me, that's why Gugliotta is number 3. But again, all three of those cards are pretty much going to give you the exact same thing on the court, in all honesty. Like, I think there's almost no difference to what you're going to get out of the 3 of them. Moving on to the number 2 spot, you have Demarre. Carroll. As crazy as this may sound, yes, I know he is an amethyst. He is a 6'9" stud. This card is really, really good. I know he's not quite as slasher elite as anybody else that we've looked at of these last 3, Goog, Smith, or Thurl. But even though he's not as big or as good of a slasher, he is faster than all 3. He is a little more versatile defensively, arguably, than all 3, at least statistically. Badge-wise, he is very, very nice. For only having 20 badges, the amount of good badges he has is pretty spectacular. And his jumper is elite. That's the other thing. Same exact jumper that Al Harrington has. It's really good. This card is actually really, really nice. And because he has a great jump shot with great defense, great speed, great versatile stats, I know he's not quite the slasher of a Gugliotta or a Smith or a Bailey, but for me, in terms of a 3-and-D role at the small forward position, I don't know if you can get a better option right now at the small forward position than Demarre Carroll for purely that role. That being said, my favorite small forward that I have used personally, to this point at least, is actually Diamond Alex English. I think this card is really, really, really good. He has 22 total badges. Another guy who's similar to Carroll, a lot of good badges, not missing much. I mean, limitless, set shot, maybe bailout, a movable, and then one of brick wall or paper troller, probably paper troller, and you're basically not missing anything super important. Like the biggest badges missing are probably gonna be diamond, brick wall, which isn't that huge. He's a great slasher, he's fast, he's a versatile good defender, and he's got solid size, 6'8". But again, you probably look at this card and you go, okay, I like the speed, badge wise he's pretty good, but is he actually better than everybody else we've looked at? Honestly, in my opinion, the answer is yes, because number one, Carmelo release is really good. Other guys on this list also have good SIGs, releases. But the thing that's really nice about him is that Steph Curry escape with pro dribble style being solid as well. That's one of the better SIGs, I think, in the game still. Maybe not quite as good as last year, but still a very, very good animation. And him having that Curry escape gives him the ability to do more as a shot creator than pretty much anybody else in this list can do, while still being that 90 driving dunk, physical slasher. He's very much like a Carmelo offensively as a scorer, with versatile, super solid defense as well. And to me, at 6'8", even though he gives up a little bit of size to a few of these guys, the shot creation offensively and the ability to still defend like he can is enough for me to give him the number one spot. Now, I do want to say again, the gap between number 10 and number 1 on this list, just like the shooting guard position, is not a big gap. I will give 2K this. They dropped a lot of very good cards in the Wild Gems promo, but they also dropped not a lot of unbelievably overpowered cards. They did a very good job of that. None of these cards are truly overpowered in my opinion. All of them are very good competitive level cards. I think you can get any of these guys and succeed at the small forward position without a doubt. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.